This is Ronald Widener, and I'm coming to you again from my backyard in sunny Florida. So the last time we talked about a theoretical kit, right? So I took my everyday carry items, starting with whatever I had in my pocket on that particular day. And from there, we built 5 items, we built up some kits, 6 of them to be exact, 5 items at a time. So I alluded that my actual kit might not be exactly what the final of that video was going to be, and that's very true. So why? And the reason why is because my actual kit I use, right? So I'm using my kit, which means things go in and out of it all the time, depending on what I'm going to do that day or that weekend or that week or whatever the case is. Whatever I'm going to do changes sometimes what I have in my kit. Plus, I use things, and when they get used, or sometimes I just find out that it's not appropriate for me. I've taken somebody's advice. I've watched somebody on YouTube, and somebody says, you should put this in your kit or that in your kit, and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. So I put it in my kit, and I find that's not really my thing. So yeah, so my kit changes. It's very fluid. So with that, we'll tear apart my kit. We'll take a look at it, see what I actually have in it today. I know I'm going out this weekend, probably for a canoe / camping overnighter, right? So I have different things in my kits depending on different days. That said, let's go tear it apart. All right, hold on. Okay, so before we start tearing this kit apart, let's take a look at it from the outside, because I don't think I'll put that in the video. In the rest of the video, it's my Alice pack. That's what it's in. It's a standard Army issue Alice pack, and it pretty much holds everything I need. On the bottom, I have a tool bag or a butt bag, and a tent strapped to it. I like to tie things up with rubber bands here, which is what that is. I tie things up with rubber bands so it doesn't flop around and get caught on stuff when I'm walking through the woods. And yeah, there it is. So I'll tear it apart, lay it all out on the table, and we'll go through it. All right, hold on. Okay, so I'm back. Let's take a look at this kit. Yeah, we'll start at the back of the table, where I'll point out some of these obvious things, and we'll talk about some of these choices and as we go. So we have 550 paracord, a couple rope lengths of rope. I think, well, I know these are both 10 feet each, so I have 20 feet of 900 pounds tensile strength rope. Another paracord, this one's 100 feet. Both of these are 20 feet each. A carabiner, a couple of compasses, and this is a thermometer compass whistle. What's important about this thermometer at the moment is, oh my gosh, it is hot out here today. Yeah, so there we go. On the back, moving along the back here, we have some tools. Let's see here. We have a needle nose pliers, a multi-tool. I know I said I like the Stanley multi-tool, but I gave that away to somebody recently who needed a multi-tool more than me. So this is like an old standby that I had, so that's in my kit today. I have a folding knife. This is an El Cheapo folding knife. It's good. I don't really care a whole lot about it, so I use that for whatever. Here we have a Coleman fixed blade knife. It's full tang. It's also relatively inexpensive. I've had this knife, I guess, for it has to be at least 3 years, and really it's got some surface rust, but other than that it's not really showing any signs of rust or of damage, I should say. And then this is my my favorite knife. It's a buck knife, and it came in this leather pouch, and yeah, it's really my favorite knife. I would put that knife up against a many fixed blade knives, even, because it's really that heavy, that sturdy. Obviously a really good fixed blade knife is not the same thing, but yeah, it's still a good knife. I really like it. So keeping on, this is basically critters, right? What I would call, whatever I'm going to use for gathering food. Here is a fishing kit here. Yeah, it's got worms and hooks and a couple bobbers. It's a pretty good sized fishing kit, but that's my main way of getting food when I'm out in the woods, is fishing. I prefer that over everything else. I do have a couple of rat traps. I don't think I've ever used them in the woods, but they're in there. It was an idea that I think I got from David Canterbury, so I put them in there. Again, I haven't used them yet, but they don't take up much space, so they're in there. I also have a slingshot. I'm not sure I'm going to keep that in there. The only time I'm ever any good with it is if I turn it into a sling bow, using that key ring trick you might have seen on another video. Dave Canterbury in particular, he uses some ranger bands and a key ring, and he turns it into a sling bow. I could shoot arrows out of it fairly accurately. Like I can hit a raccoon from about 15 yards, right? So that's about as accurate as I get with that. I could probably use it for sling fishing. I've never tried, but there it is. I don't know if I'll keep it in there because, as far as slinging marbles or rocks or anything like that out of there, I'm just terrible at that. So it's not really doing me any good in this kit. So I have some rubber bands here. I just use them for all kinds of things, securing my gear or whatever. Oh, before I get too far, on the back side of this, speaking of rubber bands, I have rubber banded to the rat traps, a couple of walkie-talkies. They're just good to have, especially if I'm with somebody else, which happens. So we also have some cans. So I have 2 soup cans here, and inside the soup cans, is different things. We'll start with this one here. This one is a frog gig, right? So I have a frog gig. I have a pair of binoculars. Let's see, Bushnell. I have a LED flashlight and a couple more 20-foot sections of paracord, which is really there just to keep things from rattling around. In this other soup can, I have, and obviously this, by the way, obviously the soup can is steel, because that's why I keep it in my kit. So I have some duct tape, and then I have some ammunition for an air rifle. That's what I have in here today, is ammunition for an air rifle. Let's just check that out. What's important about this ammunition and air rifles in general? So when you're considering training, for whatever you're training for. So when you're considering training, there's certain things that you need to keep in mind in terms of weight and legalities and what you can and can't do and so forth. So an air rifle is not a firearm in this state. It's an air rifle. So when you keep that in mind, keeping that in mind, it might make a good training tool. The other thing to keep in mind is this is a roll of duct tape, as you can see here, and this, inside this roll of duct tape, I could pretty much put that much ammunition. So as you see, it sticks up a little bit, right? But in my hand, I have 1,000 rounds of ammunition. They're pellets, perfect for killing anything smaller than a raccoon, or just basic target shooting and practicing your skills. So anyway, that's in there. Coming back around to this side, I have in here a folding saw. I keep it wrapped up here and keep it from snagging on anything, so I have it in a bandana. But there it is, a folding saw. I have a map here. It's a road atlas, and of course there's a Bible there. Yeah, okay, there's a Bible, New Testament. Inside here is basically a fire kit. Let's see here. There we go. I think that's in frame. So inside here we have a fire kit. Now my fire kit is very, very simple. It consists of like I don't know, maybe a dozen or so Bic lighters, and a bunch of cotton balls, and some petroleum jelly. Also, because it fit, oh, and a magnifying glass. And because it fit, I put a couple of gun cleaning tools in there, just because in my actual gun cleaning kit, which is right here, my gun cleaning kit didn't have enough room for the couple more things that I wanted to carry. So inside here is a gun cleaning kit. It also has a knife sharpening kit. It has a file in there. It has sharpening stones and whatnot. And this is my med kit. So I keep in there things like anti-diarrhea, Tums, acetaminophen, aspirin, caffeine combination, right? One of those pills. Antifungal for your, like athlete's foot. What else is in there? Bandages, of course, an ace bandage, some tape. Basic medical supplies. Maybe I'll pull that apart some other time. Moving along, we have a couple of flashlights. So this is just a regular flashlight. The only thing that's special about it is it has a magnet on the bottom, which you can use to make sure you're looking at steel, right? I don't know if that got on film, so I'll do it again. Okay, steel. All right. We also have another flashlight. This usually isn't actually in the kit, but I store it with the kit because I put it on my belt when I'm out and about. So here we have, moving on to the front, we start talking about shelter. This is a couple of contractor bags. I think it's 3 of those. And then we have a tarp back there. This tarp I need to start replacing. I think it's 2 seasons old. I can't believe I got that many seasons out of it. Here's my tent. Now this tent is it's a good tent. It's a cheap tent. It's very, very inexpensive tent. I like the A-frame setup. It's very, very easy to set up, and I could replace the parts needed to set it up out in the woods if I needed to. So that's it with that. And then we have clothes. We have underwear. We have jeans, socks, a jacket, a couple of shirts, a towel, and some bandanas and some gloves. And then we have my air rifle, which is what I'm carrying with me this weekend. It's a Sportsman RS2 series by Beeman. The cool thing about this particular air rifle is that it has 2 barrels. One is a 22 caliber, and the other one is a 177 caliber. I usually keep the 22 on there because, well, it hits a little harder, and for me, I'm a little bit more accurate with the 22 than I am the 177s. The 177s seem to fly around a little bit to the left and right. I don't understand why yet. But they do, out of this gun. Another air rifle I don't have that problem with, but this one I do. So this one, the scope, the string broke at some point, so I have that tied up with rubber bands. And that's pretty much what's inside this kit. I could pull apart the other kits some other time, the little miniature kits, like the first aid kit and the gun cleaning kit and the fire kit. But there it is. That's it in a nutshell. And like I said, kits are very, very fluid. This kit changes from time to time. Well, almost every time I go out, I put something in, I take something out. So if you're actually using your kit and trying different things, you'll probably see that a kit, like I said, is very, very fluid, and that there's probably not a such thing as the ultimate kit that never changes. If it is the kit that never changes, somebody probably isn't using that kit. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please enjoy my channel. Bye-bye.